Welcome, Your Highness. I'm afraid you're a bit late to the party. We've already gotten started, you see. Shut the door if you'd be so kind. Don't want the warmth to escape. Appreciate it. Do you know my friend here? Probably not. Felt it was safer for everyone involved if the two of you never crossed paths, but considering the theme of today's chat, I had to make sure he didn't pay you a little visit during our adventures. Perhaps it would be best if I start at the beginning. You must be confused. I'd hate to miss any details, you see. And seeing as our guest is indisposed speaking, I'll take the lead. Oh, right. You weren't here. I should explain that too. Tongue's gone. He didn't have much use for it, given that he's blabbed enough. I've relieved him of that burden. All he needs to do now is listen. Easy enough. And I would have tossed it to the dogs, but I didn't want them falling ill over your poisoned little lies. The ropes and trusty dagger on my belt are to make sure he stays put. Though, I have the feeling he'll be a good boy for me and not make a fuss. Isn't that right, my old friend? Feel like behaving? I'll assume so. Where to start? You'll like this one. Remember our little outing to the underworld? Of course you do. Now, do you also remember how the contact, despite agreeing to my terms eagerly, suddenly changed his tune? At first, I assumed he got scared, but then I dug a little deeper. Why risk his life only to give us information in death? Why not avoid us altogether? Got me thinking. The names themselves are nothing to note. Most of them are rich, desperate nobles, all willing to fill their pockets with more coin, even at the cost of lives. I couldn't be less surprised even if I tried. What grabbed my attention were the names not found on that list. There's a reason I called him a rat. They scurry, chittering about for anybody willing to listen hard enough. Those in the underworld know things. We hear more than they realize thanks to our audacious rodents. We know which nobles would sell our souls for a coffer. So why weren't they on the list? Unless that list we found was a forgery that would lead us to miss the real problem. I didn't even suspect you then, my friend. An easy mistake, I thought. It could have happened to anyone. That's why I gave you the list. Bet you felt real confident after that. But then we discovered that damned artifact. That's where you made your mistake. Imagine it. The one chance at exposing the Demon King's weakness. The only problem? Asgaroth can't be expected to walk right in and claim it. Even if those who held it were sworn to him, he'd never make it into the city. So you found the next best thing. Me. Do you understand yet, Your Highness? No, you should hear this too. Listen to me, friend. I'm not sure how you discovered this. For all I can guess, the Demon King himself told you while you knelt like a dog in front of his throne. The truth is, I don't really care. You can't tell me and I wouldn't want to hear it. I'm no fool. This line of work, no, this life isn't one that survives on trust. We follow the coin. We harbor our secrets. We fight and we kill without remorse. That's how life is. What angers me about all of this is how you're willing to throw away everything for what's obviously a lie. You truly believe Asgaroth will let you live. Once you're of no use to him, you're done. He has no place for people like us. If you think this world's tossed you aside, then what do you think he'll do? I thought you were smarter than this. Suppose the fault lies with me. Good thing I was never half as stupid, though. I always keep a plan in motion, because someone is bound to try stabbing me in the back. Oh yeah, it's like I said. That's how life is. You just happened to lose sight of that, old friend. May you take some comfort in your final moments. After all, at the end of the day, the same blood that runs in his veins flows through me. In that way, killing you is simply an act of fate that I've taken on in his stead. Because believe me, he was always going to end you. This game was never yours to win, and in that way, I almost pity you. Pity isn't enough to save you, though. You know that. It's a shame that you've forgotten. One less problem to concern ourselves with. That's a new stare you're giving me. Starting to get used to all this nastiness? Or were you shocked at the revelation? I take no pride in my blood, and I know what needs to be done. We've come this far, and whatever ties I bear to Asgaroth are beyond my choosing. Don't misunderstand me. Your trust has never been my goal. I'm simply one of the many unfortunate souls who happen to share a distant relation with a monster. If not me, you would have met another of my brethren eventually. For what it's worth, keeping secrets is my nature. Despite that, are you still willing to work with me? Oh, that's no good, Your Highness. I've become a bad influence. You weren't supposed to agree. Now I'm stuck with you all over again. You once asked me why I chose this name. I think you've earned an answer. Dread. That must have been a feeling my grandfather felt when he saw me in my mother's arms. A cold, expanding dread that exposed his corruption. It was a reminder that he had never been fit for the role that he took pride in. Dread. The feeling you get once you've landed yourself into real danger. Your hair stands on end. Your pulse quickens. Not quite fear, but close. Fear is a possibility, but dread. You know something's wrong. That is what I want those who have wronged me to feel. Every traitor, every single rat who tries to trample over the lives of others, all the nobles who turn their noses up at those they think unworthy, and, of course, Asgaroth himself. They deserve to experience a dose of dread. But before all that, we've got to find him first. This is gonna be one hell of a family reunion. Still managing to keep up, I see. Good on you. There's hope for you yet. Stick close and I'll be happy to share some valuable information, and all for free. Sure, since we'll be parting ways soon enough, I'm in a decent mood. Want to know what it is? I'm sure you do. If you enjoyed this audio, then remember to subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to keep up with your favorite series and characters, including me. For adult fans on the search for adult content, make a journey to patreon.com/Celesterra, where you can listen to even more content. Of course, there's always the next choice. You could order a commission. Stop by anagomi.com/commissions and check it out. Be creative with it. Surprise me. That's about all I've got to say to you. We've talked for long enough. Much like coin, silence is golden, and I can never have too much gold. I'm glad you understand. Until we meet again, Your Highness.